2.5. Solve equations using addition or subtraction. Vocabulary. Inverse operations just simply means two operations that undo each other, such as addition and subtraction. So if I take positive A and subtract that by negative A, then they undo each other and this would equal to 0. Okay, the subtraction property of equality. In words, subtracting the same number from each side of an equation produces an equivalent equation. So, for example, in numbers, if x plus 3 equals 5, then if I were to solve for x, I would take the opposite of positive 3 and subtract that to both sides of the equation. So negative 3 here would be the same number from each side of an equation. So after I subtract negative 3 to both sides of the equation, I should get x equals 2. So algebraically, I would be subtracting positive a to both sides. So then x would equal to b minus a. The same thing would work for addition property of equality. If x minus 3 equals 5, then x minus 3 plus 3 equals 5 plus 3, meaning we need to add positive 3 to both sides, which is the opposite of negative 3. Then after simplifying both sides of the equation, we would get x equal to 8. So 5 plus 3. And algebraically, we would add the opposite of negative a to both sides. So negative a, positive a undo each other, and x would equal to b plus a. Let's apply these properties. Part A. Solve the equation and then check your solution. So to solve for x, I need to take positive 7 and subtract 7 to both sides. So basically, negative 7 is the opposite of positive 7. The reason why I want to do that is because I want to isolate the variable x in order to solve for it. 12 minus 7 gives me 5. If I check 5 into the original equation, 5 plus 7 gives me 12. So yes, x equals 5 is your answer. b minus 14 equals negative 3. So the opposite of negative 14 is positive 14. You cancel out negative 14 and positive 14 to isolate the variable b. And negative 3 plus 14 is 11. I'm going to do a quick check in my head. 11 minus 14 gives me negative 3. Yes, b equals 11 is my answer. 177 equals 403 plus w. Okay, again, I need to isolate the variable w. So subtract 403 to both sides. I'm used to writing the variable on the left-hand side, so I'm going to write w first. And 177 subtract 403 gives me negative 226. I'm going to do a quick check in my head. 403 subtract 226. Gives me 177. Okay, part B, find the value of x for the given triangle. The perimeter is 59. The perimeter just means the distance around the shape. So I can take 59 and let that equal to 22 plus 13 plus x. 59 would then equal to 35 plus x. And I need to subtract 35, the opposite of positive 35, which is negative 35, to both sides. And then x would equal to 24. I need to label centimeters. Okay, here we have part C, write as an equation and then solve. Okay, I need to first translate this. 8 more than the sum of x and 5. 8 more than the sum of x plus 5. Why do I know that I need to put parentheses around x plus 5? It is because this part of the phrase tells me that x and 5 need to be added together first. Sum of. Okay, and then is would be my equal sign, and I'm going to recopy the 20. Well, in this case, we can use the associative property and regroup 5 and 8 together. So to simplify this, x plus 13 equals 20. And then x would equal 7. And the next one, 32 less than the sum of x plus 7 equals 0. Again, we can first regroup 7 and negative 32. 7 minus 32 is 25. Negative 25. And then you can add 25 to both sides. So x equals 25. Biology. When attacked by a giant hornet, Japanese honeybees cluster together to form a ball around the hornet and then generate heat by buzzing. So this first sentence tells us what this word problem is about. The honeybees can endure temperatures of up to 48 degrees Celsius, which is 3 degrees Celsius greater than the hornet can tolerate. So sentence 2 provides information that we will need to solve the word problem. Find the maximum temperature tolerated by a Japanese giant hornet. So sentence 4, or the last sentence, in this case in sentence 3, tells you what you need to do. So let x equals the maximum temperature. And here it says the honeybees can endure temperatures of up to 48 degrees. And that's 3 degrees greater than what the hornet can tolerate. Therefore, this sentence here actually represents your equation. So x is the max temperature a giant hornet can tolerate. So X plus 3 will represent the temperature in which honeybees can endure. And it also tells us that 48 degrees Celsius is the maximum. Okay, so again, X plus 3 means honeybees can tolerate temperatures 3 degrees Celsius greater than the hornet. And again, the word problem also tells us that honeybees can endure temperatures of up to 48 degrees. So the second sentence basically gives you a lot of information. Now that you have an equation, I can subtract 3 to both sides, cancel out positive 3 and negative 3 on the left hand side, take the difference of 48 and 3, bring down an X, I get 45 degrees Celsius. Population. From 1990 to 2000, the population of Cresco, Iowa increased by 236. The population in 2000 was 3,905. Use an equation to find the population in 1990. So I'm going to let X equal the population in 1990. It tells me that the population increased by 236. So I'm going to take X, I'm going to add 236, and in the second sentence, it tells us that the population in 2000, or the final count, is 3905. You can put that on the second part of the equation. And now that I have an equation, I can solve for X. Subtract 236 to both sides. Cancel out positive 236 and negative 236. And X would give you 3,669 people. And that concludes our lesson.